Hi guys, I wanna go over my plan for the 0.4 league start, and my plan is to go shape-shifting werewolf, and the reason for that is because I think it's going to be extremely strong for a league start scenario, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. I want to talk about another thing is basically that these shape-shifting skills are designed to work in synergy with one another, and the way this game is moving, it's moving in the direction that you will need to utilize these synergies to get good damage. Obviously, when you have gear, when you have currency, when you can buy any item on the market, you can play your one-button zoomer builds. But we're talking about league start here. We're talking about having like a couple of divines by entering red maps and stuff like that. And I think werewolf is going to be amazing for this, and the reason is because this class can basically ignore movement speed requirements. Like, you don't need to spend all these points to get movement speed nodes to be fast with this class, and you don't need to be something like an accuracy attack speed stacker, so you can move it like a quarter staff skill or mortal blast or something like that. And that is also heavily nerfed because this node is going to be much different on the new patch, and it's going to be capped at I think 25%, and you won't even get to crazy numbers like 20 something attacks per second. The reason why I believe that this build will be one of the fastest league starters is this skill game right here called Pounce. This is a cooldown skill game, but we're going to work around this on the build, and I'm going to show you in a minute how. Basically, it's a 4-second leap that also does a respectable 300% attack damage. So basically, it's not amazing, it's not like a slam level of damage, but with enough investment, you will basically be able to jump from pack to pack and clear most of the enemies by using Pounce. And I think in combination of using Pounce, some sprinting, and natural movement speed that werewolf gives, I think it's going to be like 25 or 30 movement speed, as was shown in these trailers. And then also this new Savage Fury buff, we don't have the information yet, but at level 20 I believe it's going to give you like 16% extra movement speed. So basically what this is going to do for you is it's going to allow you to get a lot of, let's say it, free movement speed, and the ability to jump from pack to pack. Also, the basic attack on werewolf is also a gap closer. It has like 2 to 3 meter range, and it's nothing to scoff at. So you'll basically be able to jump from enemy to enemy and utilize the free movement speed you get from werewolf to be decently fast. Now, one problem this build has, I used the gas grenade to simulate the area of effect because it has 2 meters impact. The Pounce also will have 2 meters impact. You will be able to get with the basically some skeleton tree that I think is subject to change, but this is something that I came up with like an hour or two of thinking about what nodes to take. It's going to have so we need to go to gas grenade here, and I'm going to need to equip the crossbow. To see, it's going to have 3.5 meter radius, and you can see it showcased on this picture here in the green circle, bottom right. It's not super good, but it's going to be decent. Also, what you will use with this is obviously Herald of Ice, because you have a lot of generic attack damage nodes going to scale with Herald of Ice, and it's going to help your clear. So basically your gameplay will be like something like let me open the paint. You're going to pounce from one pack to another pack to another pack to another pack to another pack. Maybe if the packs are a bit farther spread out, you will like sprint or something. And if there's any enemy survived the original impact explosion and Herald of the Ice, you're basically going to use the I think it's called the Lunar Slash ability, the ability that has an insane amount of
damage is enough to shred up
insane amount of extra
wolves for even more damage.
Lunar Assault. So basically 500% more freeze build up. So if you scratch something, it's going to get frozen with this skill. It also has a decent amount of attack speed. Attack damage is not the greatest, but the 500% more freeze build up is quite ridiculous. and you can also utilize this to keep your ice bite up. So basically, and your rage. So just gonna be linked to with these two supports and whatever the best damage you need for that. You're not going to use it too often. It's basically just to get your rage up. You get your ice bite and refresh the duration. And thanks to decent amount of skill effect duration nodes you pick up on this 3 ice bite is going to last a decent bit of time. Also, another skill you're going to use is the Lunar Blessing, which gives a ridiculous amount of extra cold damage. And it also gives you something else. It gives you basically a sort of a herald attack, a cold herald attack, similar to Herald of Thunder. Whenever you hit something, it will cause an additional hit, and I think it also will be an area damage hit. And the thing is, it has a 1 second cooldown. So what we have here is a couple of skills that have cooldowns, and that's why I'm planning to go Titan Ascendancy, and I'm planning to take Hulking Form, because you can scale a lot of these small cooldown recovery nodes on your tree you get. You can even stretch later here, but I'm not sure if it's worth the points. There's some more cooldown recovery skill effect duration, but I don't think it will be necessary, because you can also use cooldown recovery gem, which will give you additional 30%. And I think on Heart of the Well, the unique Abyss Jewel that drops from Rogue Exiles, will also give you, I think, up to 18% cooldown recovery rate. And basically what this means is you will be able to get this 4 second cooldown time of pounce down to like 2 seconds, maybe even like 1.8 seconds with really heavy investment. And that's going to be enough, like, to jump into a pack, maybe do 1 or 2 attacks with Lunar Assault, build up your rage, jump to another pack. And with all these skill effect durations that you have like 30, 50 here, and another 55, so over 100% skill effect duration. I think just let me just check if there's a duration of this skill. No, I forgot which one of these skills has duration. Poison Cloud, I think is this one. So basically, duration modes, I have like 2.2% increased duration. So Lunar Blessing will be able to last for like something like 30 seconds. So it's a skill that you'll basically only have to press like maybe 5 to 6 times per map. Realistically, you don't need to start the map with it. Maybe when you see a couple of rare monsters or something like that, you press it, and then you press it before a boss. Late game, when you have enough of gear, you don't need to like spam this skill. This is just going to be a button that you occasionally press that gives you a bunch of damage, and obviously trigger the Moonlight on hit. So the way I designed the tree is to synergize with all the attacks. Like, I get a lot of area effect. I utilize the passive skill tree swapping. I get a lot of area effect nodes. Get attack speed for my second weapon swap point, because I'm going to need to build up rage fast, and also because the mechanics of the Lunar Assault skill allow you to fling ice fragments from frozen enemies. That is going to boost your single target damage by a lot. I think this will do a significant amount of damage. And what you basically want to do, you want to freeze the boss as fast as possible with your Lunar Assault. Then you use your basic attack. Like, you want as much attack speed on this, like all the attack speed gems are going to go on your basic attack. It's called Shred, I think. And you're going to flick ice fragments from it, and then you're going to use the ability called Cross Slash to bring those ice fragments all onto the boss and explode it for shotgun effect. And if this doesn't have limit, if this is just scaled by your attack speed, you're going to deal a significant amount of burst damage. Like, this is going to work really well in combination. I don't want to go too much into depth with other mechanics of these skills, because we don't have the full game info yet. But basically, this skeleton of a tree is something you can even use with a bear form with some quarter staff skills. Like, if these numbers don't work out late game, you can respec into anything else. But I think for campaign, for early mapping, for probably even for quite a while in red maps, this is going to produce a really high clear speed, like jump from pack to pack, a really snappy feeling gameplay for free. Like you don't even need like movement speed on your boots, on your tree. This is going to provide you with significant amount of speed to generate that early currency to finish your atlas as fast as possible. Like later when you can invest in like a bunch of movement speed nodes, boots with movement speed rune and stuff like that, onslaught charm, and you have all that, a build like this will probably fall a bit down in terms of how fast it is compared to those super zoomy builds. But talking like first week of the league, this is going to be, I believe, something that's really snappy, because being able to jump every 2 seconds, deal damage on the impact, trigger your hell out of ice, freeze everything around you is very potent. It's basically, if lip slam was good, like if lip slam was a good skill, you would use like if it didn't have this stupid line where it says plus 0.65 seconds to a total attack time, and also plus 0.5 on distance travels. Basically, if lip slam was good, it would be pounds. And the reason they don't want it to be OP is they put a cooldown on it, but you can go Titan, you can get some extra cooldown recovery, then it's possible, stack some gems, stack some jewels and stuff like that, and get this to like a respectable level, like below 2 seconds, when it's going to be feeling not too much restrictive. Only issue that I haven't solved yet on the build, I do some armor to elemental, like you can get like 13,000 armor with trash items that you're going to have as soon as you enter red maps. Like I simulated something like I don't even have armor rolls on everything, and I have like mediocre armor rolls on my body armor. This is like basically tier 3 armor rolls. You're going to have 13,000, and if you use scavenge plating and you put armor break support somewhere, you'll be able to get up to 18%. And in case somebody does 1000 physical damage hit, that means you're going to have 64% phys reduction, and quite a bit of elemental reduction as well, thanks to these armor applies to all damage nodes and nodes that you can get on your items, on your implicit and stuff like that. So this build will also be decently tanky. You can take stone skin if you don't want crushing blows for more damage. Take mysterious lineage for more life. I don't think these aftershock snows will be very good, even though pounce is a slam. Like I plan to support it with Fist of War to be ancestrally boosted. Like basically every 4 seconds, that means every second pounce you do will have 30% more damage and 25% more AoE. I think that's also going to be amazing to bring up that initial clear speed like much higher than it looks on the first glance. And it's like it's not bad at all. Like if you see the jump already
What's
does
the point of this
without
build
almost
if
no
we're not
investment,
howling?
it could already
Lunar
kill a
Assault
whole
helps us
smaller
clear
pack,
and
or
free-
like as shown from this trailer. So the only thing that I haven't really solved is recovery. This Savage Fury skill that's going to give more damage, more attack speed, is going to cost you 3% life, and the life regeneration nodes on the tree are pretty shitty. Like I do get just enough life regeneration on the tree through these nodes that I can counteract the 3%, but otherwise my only recovery is the flask. And I will need to like later when I have currency on this build, I will need to like solve it to get a bit better recovery. One good thing is that unlike this Lunar Assault skill that converts the cold damage, Pounce doesn't convert the damage to cold. Like it's just a pure physical skill in itself. You will get a bunch of cold damage from the Lunar Blessing, the skill that costs rage and gives you a 30-second duration buff. But initially it's not converted, so I'm hopeful that we'll do enough fist damage on this build that getting like leech on your ring, on your weapon, on your gloves somewhere, getting some physical leech will at least give you some recovery, like that's not a flask back. And also these three subject to change, we're getting a bunch of shape-shifting nodes somewhere up here. So basically that means that I might drop this bottom part of the tree and just go here, spec some shape-shifting nodes. If there's some cooldown recovery here, I might just drop all this section right here and just go here. If I can replace this cooldown recovery, we need to see what the new tree is going to bring. But this skeleton I have is already good. It has bunch of damage, and I try to make these damage nodes as generic as possible to also work on all my attacks, like Herald of Ice also as attack, and the Moonlight you will get from Lunar Blessing skill. The Pseudo Herald skill is also going to be attack. So basically I take two-handed weapon damage nodes. I take these nodes that are really good value. If you have an ally on your presence, Pounce is going to let you spawn wolves all the time. You can even use cross slash to spawn them on bosses. So basically these nodes are extremely strong. You get like 100% damage from these 4 nodes right here, so keep that in mind. So basically as much as generic damage as possible, to also work on my auto attack, to also work on my Lunar Assault, on my Pounce, and on my Herald and the Moonlight skill. So I avoid stacking too many like area damage, because not everything you're going to do is area damage, and I avoid also melee damage nodes. I don't put as much value on them as other nodes, because your Moonlight and your Herald of Ice is not going to be melee. So basically that's it. I'm going to play a wolf, and I'm going to jump with my wolf. I'm going to jump around the maps, and I'm going to farm really fast for not a lot of money. So if you like an idea like this, I'm going to probably do an update video on how the build goes, like at the end of the weekend, when I enter maps, when I get some gear, when I do some real test, really put this build through a test. I will do an update video. Hopefully POB will be updated by then. I'm going to drop this link below the video so you can see the skeleton of the tree. Keep in mind this is not finalized. I'm going to like write why I use these skills in the label, so you can use why I use gas grenade. Basically the gas grenade is here just to simulate the radius and stuff like that. And thanks for listening, and I hope you have a really fun league start.